Hello, guys. This is Coach Yeboah. This morning I went live. Welcome to my page if you're new, and welcome if you are old. Please hit the subscribe button and share this broadcast with everyone who may benefit from it. I do appreciate you spreading the word so that we build the kingdom of God. I want to welcome you once again about the live I was discussing infidelity in marriage this morning. And when I finished, it felt like I had to rush to get off. If you haven't listened to it, please go ahead and refer to that video. I will link it below. Watch that live. But I also wanted to talk about specifically the dangers of infidelity. Infidelity can have a number of dangers, both for the individual and for the relationship. So I want to quickly go over some of the things that individuals can go through when they practice infidelity or adultery, according to the Bible. Mental health problems are prevalent amongst men. A lot of men commit suicide. And a lot of times you hear people say, I don't know what happened because they were this, they were that. They seem to be exemplary man, like what happened? But a lot of men experience mental health problems. And what happens with infidelity is that, when you are not honest to your spouse, there's a lot of guilt and shame that comes from that. So a lot of people experience depression, they experience anxiety from the issues because you have to lie and keep lying, you know. So I say men because it's women. Usually a lot of women are diagnosed with depression and those things, but I bring out the men as well because it's something that's overlooked, that men also experience mental health problems and they don't talk about it often. So historically speaking, men are not encouraged to talk and speak out and seek therapeutic help. And so that's one of the issues. If a man is going through infidelity, he can experience mental health problems, which is depression, anxiety, and the like. And they use substance abuse to kind of cope with it. I've seen men who don't drink, but because they were cheating, they had to start drinking to numb their pain, to also get over the guilt and the shame. Because in good conscience, it's hard to cheat in good conscience. Like you have to somehow numb yourself to be able to keep doing what you're doing. And the other things that as an individual you can experience are STDs. A lot of cheating people, men and women, do not protect themselves sexually, which is why we hear of people having children outside the marriage. Yes, you hear a lot of men sleeping around and having children outside the marriage, but I've seen women personally who have also cheated. I remember years ago, I went to a baby shower, and the baby shower, the young lady's husband was there, but the shower, actually, she was pregnant for another man, her ex. And that was such a traumatic and just dramatic situation altogether. I was there at the shower. And so you see stuff like that. And I was even there at their wedding. So it's a very strange situation that people cheat and then they go back to the ex they left. It's just insane to me. But who am I, right? I'm just here to give the word and you take it how you want to take it. But the key is a lot of marriages are being destroyed. And we keep talking about the enemy attacking kingdom marriages and blah, blah, blah. But there are things that we are also doing individually to contribute, to make ourselves available for the enemy, for Satan to use us against our own spouses, against our own homes, because we engage in things. There's another video that I did 2 days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, about marital etiquette. Marital etiquettes are boundaries that you kind of build around yourself to preserve and protect yourself from anything going down with the opposite sex. So I will recommend that you watch that video. I will also link it below. All right. Infidelity can impact your career. See, if you end up dating or cheating with somebody who you work with, I mean, after a while, people at work will catch on. And that's going to impact your ability to get a raise, your ability to get promoted, and you become like an outcast. Your reputation is messed up. You're ostracized. You become ostracized. And so you want to make sure that you don't do that, especially not at work, because you can lose your career, lose your ability to provide for your family simply because you decided to cheat on your spouse. And it's just not a good look. So far as the relationship bit, the way it impacts the relationship is that you break trust, you break trust in the marriage, and it's difficult for you to reconcile well with your spouse after you've gone through, a situation where you cheated. So you break trust, so it's crucial that as a person, a spouse in a relationship, you do your possible best not to cheat, because when you do cheat, some of these things can happen. So loss of trust is created by infidelity, communication problems. So what happens is, because you're cheating, it's difficult for you to even have a decent conversation with your spouse. Everything they say trigger you. Everything they say makes you mad. Everything they say pisses you off, because you don't want to deal with the person. You're happy out there. You don't want to engage with them. So it makes communication difficult. And you experience the inability to effectively get to the person what you want to say, and you can't hear them because what you're doing, you want to continue to feed what you're doing. So in a way, your behavior is blocking communication lines with your spouse, but you're not going to see that. Intimacy is hard to create. Sexually or emotional intimacy, physical intimacy or emotional intimacy is difficult when you're cheating, because you don't even feel like getting close to that person. You feel guilty, you feel dirty, you feel like you don't want to go close to that other person. So that's how it impacts the relationship. And then divorce. Obviously, not everybody has the capacity to sustain a cheating relationship. Some people would just say, oh no, I'm out of here. It's a deal breaker for them. Infidelity is a major cause of divorce. Finances, infidelity, communication is number one leading cause of divorce. And so when you add these three, things just get worse in a relationship, and you begin to create chaos. You become a ticking time bomb. The home is just not safe for the both of you. And there's so many dangers associated. When you listen to the video, I talk about how someone killed themselves. So suicide and even murder, people can kill, because when you cheat, you expose your family. Your family is not safe. This person may go to the extent, if they are possessive, they may go to the extent of following you home, knowing where you live, calling your household, threatening the other individual. Why would you go do something you're led by your flesh and expose your wife, your husband, expose your children? Why? It was your decision, but your decision impacts everybody else. So you really have to consider, okay, I'm choosing to commit adultery. Let me weigh the benefit and the risks. Like, what are the risks you're willing to undertake in order for you to have this other person? It could be very devastating, and it impacts the lives of those around you, your children. Specifically, they will be insecure, they will be confused, they will be angry. They're angry because they're like, they're not good enough for their father, their mother to be there for them. Women have left their homes just to be with another man and left their children with the husband. Husbands have left the home to be with another woman. So the point is, when you're going to deal with this individual you're cheating with, maybe they're sexy, maybe they're hot, maybe they're this, maybe they know how to communicate, maybe they're good in bed, whatever it is that's making you go for the person, okay? When you're going, you don't know their mental health status. That's what I always tell people. People can look great, they can look good, but you don't know their mental health status. And when you play with that, if that person is dangerous and you don't know if they're possessive, if they're abusive, if they're whatever, and you're not aware, and you go and mess with them, they can tell you, I don't want to leave you. Can you imagine going to date somebody and the person is like, oh yeah, but you made me promises. We're going to keep this relationship. What you going to do to yourself? Now, you may be like, okay, I'm over it. But then your family is not safe. Your children are not safe. And some men are so wise. I'm telling you, I'm saying men, because women, when a woman cheats, she's calculated her actions, okay? I'm telling you, she's calculated the benefits, she's calculated. So But a lot of men, they just cheat for the sake of cheating, for the body, for the this, for that. They don't think far about it. And in so doing, they end up, it could be a friend that used to come to your house. So you expose your family to this friend, and now the friend has access to your home, and you cheated with a friend. So what happens? Your family is in danger. Because maybe your wife doesn't know, but the friend comes around and is thinking, oh, your friend is looking for you, opens the door, boom, you're shot. I could sit here and tell you cases of people who have been killed wrongfully because their spouse went and cheated. You also don't know the mental status of the person's spouse. So if you're cheating with a man, you don't know what the mental status of their wife is. If you're cheating with a wife, you don't know what the mental status of the husband. The husband can come and attack the other man and try to kill the other man and his family. I mean, I'm not saying that to scare you, but these things are happening. This is reality. You don't know the mental status of somebody who's possessive, who says, I'm not leaving you. You told me you want me. You say you're leaving your wife. You're going to stay with me. What are you going to do? So is it worth the battle? Like, is it really worth putting yourself at risk for that? Is it worth losing your family, everything you've built for 5 years, everything you've built for 20 years? Is it worth leaving that for someone you just met? Is it worth it? Is it worth having an intruder in your relationship for the sake of fun? Is it worth the one night stand? Going to the club, going to the strip club, going to go engage with other people, going to Vegas? Is it worth it? So I'm here to, one, dispel the fact that people want to blame others for cheating. You cheated because you wanted to cheat. You don't blame, and you cannot blame the other spouse. It doesn't matter. I don't care what the other spouse does. You cannot blame the other spouse if you cheated. You just can't. You cheated because you were led by your own. Even the Bible says it. When you're tempted, is your own lust. Don't say God tempted me. You were tempted by your own lust. You had seeds inside of you of cheating. So you were tempted and those seeds came out. So I finished the live this morning and I was just sitting here. And as I was listening to the live, it was like, I need to come back and talk about the dangers of infidelity, because we don't talk about it. We're not going to talk about it in the church. We're not going to talk about it in our families. It's just going to continue as a curse, as a vicious cycle. And the people of God are still, experiencing these things that is breaking their homes. We're taking the families back. My job is simple: to speak the truth in love. Okay. And also let you know there are behaviors that you may have engaged in that nobody told you. We don't do that. Sometimes, parents are aware their child, their son, their daughter is cheating, and they don't say, yeah, go ahead and do it. But they also don't say anything by condoning it. You're your sister's keeper. You're your brother's keeper. Your friend is cheating. Tell your friend, look, get it together. Don't do this. And if you're hanging out with somebody who's cheating, you're just like the person. It's only a matter of time. They will rationalize it and you will follow suit. So be careful who you hang around. The men who get off and they want to go hang out with their friends, please. You don't need to go hang out with anybody. If you want to hang out, bring your wife, if it's a girlfriend, bring your girlfriend. Do couples outing. Single men, don't go hanging out with people that you know will cause you to go sleep with women. Married men, don't go hang out with people that will give you a reason to cheat. You go to a company, what do they call this? Happy hour as a company. And then the person you see in the office always wearing maybe covered clothes, all of a sudden dresses nice. So that day you're like, oh, that's the day you invite your wife to come to happy hour. If you must go to happy hour. Do you understand? But we don't, and I don't want to say we don't go to happy hour, because guess what? I know many Christians who do. So whether they're drinking juice or they're drinking whatever, but they're going. So the point is, don't expose yourself in situations that can be compromising, because the dangers of infidelity is too wide, too far. And your kids may be very angry towards you, and they will exhibit that anger in school, in misbehaving in their relationship, and you'll begin a cycle that you can't break. That is how generational curses are built, is that people refuse to work on themselves. It's generational because nobody stopped it in their generation. So be that man, be that woman who stops that generation where women go out and sleep with other men, even though they're married. Be the one to say, not me. I know marriages today, young people who are married, that the marriage did not stand because the young women went and slept with other men. The young women, they went to sleep with the other men. How? How? If you can't be married, don't, by all means, don't get married yet. But to be married, to go sleep around. And for those of you that are dating married men, dating married women, if she's not divorced, she's married. So you're like, I'm not a psychic. The woman did this to him and the man did this to him. It don't matter what your excuse is. If he's legally married, he's married. You're dating a married man. Oh, they're about to break up. Wait for the marriage to break. I tell people all the time, wait for the marriage to be done. Wait for the divorce to be completed. Don't go dating somebody while they're going through all of the mess, because there's something you will never know when they're going through the mess. They're busy blaming when there is more truth to it. So be blessed. Hit like and comment, share the broadcast. Let people know we go live every day, Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. And there is a podcast that is about to come. You are blessed. You are blessed.